Ask Tom on Home Show.
Vince from Spring wants to talk about some mold options.
Yes, he's looking at all the options for mold, Tom. No,
Okay.
actually, he has a 28-year-old two-story house with two AC units, and Vince writes that the downstairs unit is 7 years old, and we have visible mold growing in both the plenum of that unit and the ductwork, and that by removing the registers downstairs, they're able to see this. He says the AC companies I've contacted suggest they only replace the visible ductwork that is accessible in the attic. They say going further is going to require tearing out drywall. Meanwhile, inspection remediation companies claim to have a non-destructive way of remediating the mold within the system through a proprietary solution that they apply to the affected areas. What's your advice on this, Tom?
Well, first off, if you got mold in the plenum, the easiest thing to do is just change the plenum, period. It's just the way it is. If the ductwork, for some reason, usually when you have a really big mold problem in ductwork, it's because the unit was never maintained. So I want you to look at the unit, make sure when you put it all back together, whatever we discuss and you do, make sure that unit is checked again. Don't just run the same old unit through it again. It's just going to happen again. But with plenums, you replace them, easy enough to do. Existing ductwork, if you can, replace them. As far as stuff that's on the market today, they do have mildicides and stuff. They can spray in ductwork. They can kill what's ever in there. There are some processes out there now. It's all new, and I can't tell you, which one's going to work perfect for you. You better get somebody good to advise you on this who's there and it's in the business of doing that. But there's some coatings they're putting in ducts now. But if you have flex duct or something like that, it's going to be really difficult to do anything with a flexible duct system because it's so fragile that you end up replacing it. If you had metal ducts, I know they can go in and you can literally remove all the ducts you can get to, scrub the metal ducts real well using mildicides like Consan and stuff, clean them up. It's easy enough to do once you get access to it, kind of like using the same brushes that you use to chimney sweeps use to clean ductwork for dryer vent ducts and things like that. They go in there and they'll clean them. There are some sprays now that seal insides of ducts, and that might be an option depending which one you go. Proprietary means a lot of different things. But get rid of everything you can, but it has to do with the system not being maintained. And so I think maintaining the system in the end is going to be your best bet of not having this happen again. But if you can, replace the ductwork that's bad because it's easier in trying to fix it. If you can with the stuff that's not accessible, then you can clean it. If it's not accessible and it's flex and it's really bad, you got to get in there and replace it. And that means tearing up sheetrock and stuff, kind of like repiping a home. And one of the things I used to do in my homes, because we wanted to keep our costs in line, but we wanted to make it better for the long term for the homeowner, anything, if you go back, that's not accessible, you do hard metal duct. Everything that was accessible, we would use high-end flex duct and put it in properly. And that way they would have the best of both worlds in case down the road someday they ran into a problem like this. So that's just for other people watching this and for future applications for people who consider it.
All right, you got a question? Tom will help you just like that. Go click on that Ask Tom button at HomeShowRadio.com. It's easy peasy. Just fill out the form. Send us pictures because it helps us do a better job. I would have loved to have seen pictures in one of those ducts, Tom, and maybe even if he had the plenum cut open, show us what he's dealing with. But you're right. Change out the plenum. It's easy enough to do. Anyway,
plenum for sure.
Yeah, send us your question, and we'll answer it just like this, and we'll post it. We do them every day and post them on our YouTube channel, and of course at HomeShowRadio.com.